Hello, my name's April. I'm senior creative here at Radiant. And in this series, we're going to be doing a quick site review. So the team will send me a website that they would like me to review or analyze. I haven't looked at the site beforehand. This will be the first time that I look at the site. And I'm going to give my first impressions on what I think in terms of UX and overall design style. So I'll share my screen. This week, we're looking at a site that our developer, Dimitri, sent us, and that is Uniqlo. So first impressions, we've got, I really like the logo. The logo is really cool. They've got like, I don't know if is it a Japanese store? Let's have a look. Uniqlo. Are they Japanese? It is Japanese. Oh, I guess. So I really like the logo. Navigation, they've kept that really clean and minimal. So they've got the main categories at the top, and then on the right they have got a burger menu. Oh. So what's the difference? That's a little confusing, not going to lie. So you've got your main category, so women, men, kids, baby, which would make sense. You want users to shop by your main structure. And I guess in terms of kind of clothing, that would be by gender. So that makes sense. But this burger menu, I'd have thought would take you to like additional menu items, but it's the same. So not really a fan of that. That's quite confusing. Look that they've got the cart, they've got the account, like, and search. That's all really nice. Search has got its own drop down. In terms of the drop downs, then this is a little bit overwhelming, I think. I like the imagery associated with the individual subcategories. I think that works well, but it's a lot, isn't it? Like there's a lot going on. And in terms of UX, is it Miller's Law? I'm pretty sure it's Miller's Law. Oh, I might have made that up. I'm pretty sure it's Miller's Law. A user can only retain no more than 7 pieces of information in one go. So it's quite a lot. That's definitely more than 7. I like the categories of like the subcategories for each individual clothing item. So like jeans, jumpers and cardigans, I like that. And then I don't like the rest. I'm assuming those are brands. Linen, I'm assuming those are brands. Like sale with that. Do you know what I mean? I wonder if they should like prioritize the main subcategories, so like the actual subcategories of clothing, and then underneath you have like a separator line, and then you've got a list of brands, but I perhaps wouldn't do the logos for all of them. I think that's a bit confusing. Okay, so this goes on. Inspiration. It's quite nice to have inspiration, but are people really scrolling that far? I'm not sure what is that Uniqlo something? I don't know. Okay, so this goes on. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot. That's like a page within a menu. Do you know what I mean? Personally, I mean, if we were to take this on as a client, I'd want to see the data to see if people were actually scrolling. If they're not scrolling, I would say that people could get confused. It'd be interesting to see if you get any rage clicks or U-turns on the menu. I don't think people are going to be scrolling much past this section or even store locator. I would assume it's the same for men. Yep. And the same for kids. Yep. And probably the same for baby. So I'm not going to bore us with that. Overall menu, not loving it. So as we scroll through the home page, whoa, okay, so hang on. When you land, you get this video. But it's like a continuous loop of like parallax, I think. Yeah. So you've got, first one was a video, not a video. I'm not touching that. That's moving by itself. Nice. And that links through to the collection. Okay. So great bit of inspo there. Then I'm not touching that. It like moves on it. It moves on its own. That's really annoying. Okay. It stayed. More inspo. We've got pricing. We've got little tags like that. I scrolled once, guys. One time. Why is it doing that? More inspo. They've got the little indicator down there, which I think is helpful, but it's actually not helpful if you're going to just scroll for me. More inspo. It's a continuous loop. Where's the footer? Is this the footer? That's the footer? Okay, so it seems to be that the footer is within the menu, and then your additional homepage content is within the menu. Now, we have to take a step back here because I don't know if Uniqlo was originally a Japanese brand and then it moved to more of the Western market, because if that's the case, I mean, I am on the English store, look, you can see UK/EN. I think we have to understand that websites need to be adapted for the market. So in Japan, this style of website might be really popular and it might kind of perform really well amongst its users there. For the Western market, this is just not suitable for the Western market, I personally don't think. And I know that Uniqlo is becoming more and more popular over here in the UK. I think we possibly may need to adapt for that particular market. Let's have a little look at a collection page. Let's go. Okay, so really like this along the top. You've got all outerwear. You can go back to the different kind of subcategories on here, which I think works really well. I like the collection header. You can select a store so you can find out where your nearest store is. That works well. These quick links are really nice. We found with a client recently that quick links performed really well for them. You've got your filter here like this. This is very conventional so far. Let's have a look at colour. They've actually got colour swatches like that. Can we select more than one at a time? Yes. Like that. I also like this. I'm not a fan of. So whatever filter that you apply here appears here as like pills, and then you've also got quick link filters here. This is all a bit janky, you know, like all this moving about. I just want to stay, but how do I clear this? I have to uncheck. If you've got like 3, okay, you wouldn't on size, but if you had 3 checked, instead of just like a normal button that says clear, you have to manually uncheck each of these. Like I want to get rid of green. Okay, so it works in terms of color. You might be like, nah, don't like green, only want gray. Breadcrumbs at the bottom. Little bit unconventional, but at least they have them. They've got the footer on collection pages and I would assume product pages. So a little bit more conventional here. A bit of a weird footer, do we not think? It's not very nicely designed. I'm a fan of the whole minimal aesthetic, but this, like, you've got like the subtitle. Yeah, that's what I think to that. Okay, so product cards. Colour swatches are great. We love to see that. So this is saying that it's women's and then the size is from and to. Okay, yeah, not mad at that. Title. Star rating. Not bad. Different way to do it, but it's not bad. If it's not in stock, they've got the availability when that's going to come in. Okay, let's have a look at the product page now. Okay, really like the image gallery. Like this, the swatches are nice and big. Like the sizes. I like this little tooltip, find my size. It reminds you. They've got the size. Does it take me to a new page? They've got the size chart. I personally would have, okay, pop-ups are really annoying, but in terms of this, we don't really want to take users away from the page where they can add this. Image gallery is nice. I love that they've got a wish list. They've got a share. Product delivery mate. I like this piece of information here to let you know when the delivery is going to be. Find a store. This is a little messy. So this feature, essentially you click on it and it takes you to the items within the image, the shoppable items. Now I like that because that's a great upsell. Like this allows you to upsell your other products. Taking you to a different page, you can see the URL changes. We're on a different page. I know they've got return to previous page here, but I don't want to take users away from the add to cart button. I personally would anchor them down to the bottom of the page. Do you know what I mean? Features, love this. They've got some unique features. So the shoulder pads, the pockets, nice. Yep, nice piece of information there. Material, always important. Delivery and returns, great. Production. Okay, that's a nice piece of information. So for people that are a little bit more conscious on where they're shopping and who they're shopping from, this is nice. Styling, we like to see this on clothing websites. I think it's quite difficult, particularly from the model shots. Like, this style may not be applicable for everybody. You could look at this blazer and go, yeah, I want, a brown blazer, and then see it on the model and think, actually, that's not really my vibe. But when you see how other people are styling it, I don't know, I just think it helps to draw you in a little bit more. You can see it on other people and how they've styled it. Style, hint, inspiration. Not sure what the difference is between the two. Style, hint. Not sure about that. I like the sticky section on the right. This is nice. This is nice. Normally you scroll past this and then you have the full width page, but actually you've got the add to cart there. Okay, I say constantly until you get here. Reviews, nice. Pair it with, okay, recently viewed. People also viewed, recently viewed. Nice. Let's have a look at the cart now. So let's add this. Oh. Normally expect to see a side cart. This is a little upsell section is nice though. Let's see what cart. Okay, so it's a full cart. I personally like to see a side cart. I just think it's easy. You can still access the pages underneath. Here we are taking you to a new URL. Information is fine. We've got no upsell. Okay, we have got upsells in the side cart. Do you know what I find about upsells? I had this debate with clients and it's quite difficult. For me, an upsell in the cart should be your lower priced items, because I think, it massively depends on your user and your audience. So if your audience type has the money to spend, and they're not really going to be too fussed on how much the recommended items are, they're probably going to be more bothered by how can I add on to this existing piece? How can I adapt my wardrobe? Like, I have the money to spend, I want to spend more. And that could be applicable for Uniqlo. But more often than not, what we're finding is we're not seeing an increase in average order value. And it's because the items in the upsell section in the cart are too highly priced. So if your users potentially are a little bit more conscious on how much they're spending, so if they're only buying one item at a time and they're not big spenders, because the price point is, I would say, above average, I would actually have your upsells as your lower priced items, because we're upselling. We just want to increase the AOV. I would say no more than £20. Again, it's going to be different for each brand and it's going to be different for your audience types. Don't like this. That looks a bit tacky. Again, could be applicable for the brand and for the users. Not sure. Log in to use coupons. Okay. Look, they told me about the free delivery. We've got 2 iterations of that, which is great. I would like to see a side cart and I would like to see a smaller carousel of the upsell items. I think that works better. Overall thoughts and feelings. Homepage. Menu, absolutely not. I think this is just a lot going on. I think it's very unconventional for the Western market. Could work more for, the Japanese market and their other audience groups. PLP. This PLP has the hero banner or the collection header, which I like to see because it gives you a bit of inspiration. You can see that, jackets are jackets, but do you know what I mean? You get a bit of inspiration there. Great. That's too big. I thought, we're on the homepage again with all this infinite scroll. I know it says scroll down to shop, but I'll be honest, I'm not going to read that. I like that we can filter between men and women on jackets. That's quite nice. And I like this. This is nice. You've got quick links, but with imagery. It's just a lot though. This is too big. I can't see the product cards. So I just think that needs to be shortened a little. This is nice, but then it's like a duplicate. Do we really need that title there? Get rid of that. And then you've got more in view. And then what's this? Is that a product? That's a product. Okay. I personally would add a bit more information on there, almost like an adapted version of the product card, but like a hero product. I think a hero product is what this is. It's just, again, a little bit misleading. Okay, so overall PLP, because I've digressed here. Overall PLP, I like the product cards. The product cards are probably the best thing on the site. I think they're the most conventional. I think they work really well. I like that you can see more imagery on the product cards. That's nice. We've got a full product card within the viewport. I like that we've got sticky filters. That's really nice. Just a few little tweaks, I think, then it could be like spot on UX. Love the image gallery. I love this sticky section on the right. This is nice. Let's move this up though. This is so different. The fit, like that's nice. Let's just move that higher up. Not bad. And then cart, I just think let's introduce a sidecar. And I think that would be a huge improvement. Overall, clean, minimal aesthetic like that. There are some nice elements to it. I do like this. Whoa, you can scroll right to left. This site just keeps surprising me. Every time I try to end this video, there's just something else that crops up. I like all of the content. The content's nice. It's just, again, a little unconventional and it just needs some tweaks. Like there's some nice little surprising elements, but then the other bits just need a bit of polishing. Do you know what I mean? If you like this type of video, give it a like, leave us a comment and let me know what you thought of the Uniqlo website, and we'll come back with another video where we review another site. Thank you so much for watching.